Full Cast Audio presents Odder Than Ever by Bruce Coville. Read for you by the author and the Full Cast family. The Golden Sail. His name was Jan. He was short for his 13 years, and the sun had roasted his skin to a golden brown. His long, unruly hair was black as a moonless night, his heart as hard as a sailor's knot. As for his eyes, they were mostly green, but seemed to shift with his moods. In this, they were much like the sea beside which he lived. Jan loved the sea, but he also hated it, for it had taken his father when he'd set off to find the ship with the golden sail. It was a story his father had always loved, the tale of a mysterious ship that fishermen and traders would see on the horizon, yet could never reach. Then one day word swept the coast that the ship had been sighted again, and his father announced that he was going in search of it. That was the last they had seen of him. But Jan had not stopped waiting, not stopped hoping, which is why he was squatting at the water's edge now, looking for a sign of his father's ship. The gulls wheeled overhead, shrieking raucously. The waves rolled in to smash against the beach, splashing him with warm brine. The huge yellow eye of the merciless sun glared down at him, and the smooth line of sky and sea remained unbroken. But still he watched, as he had always done when he was not busy on some task for his mother. Now that she was gone too, a victim of the fever that had ravaged the coast the previous year, watching was what he did most of the time. After an hour of squinting at the horizon without seeing any sign of a ship, the boy sighed heavily, stood, and stretched. He gave a final seaward glance, then began to wander down the beach. He moved slowly, enjoying the feel of the warm water as it foamed and bubbled over his toes. A group of gulls gathered on the sand ahead began scolding for the sake of scolding. Jan tossed a pebble listlessly in their direction. They ignored him. He shrugged and continued down the beach, until he came to the hut of Samos, the blind net-maker. The old man paused in his work as the boy approached. After a moment he smiled and said, "Jan." It was both a greeting and a statement of pleasure. Even so, it made Jan shiver. The way Samos could tell who was standing nearby without being able to see made him uncomfortable. It was, however, the only thing about the man that Jan found disturbing. In all other ways it felt good to be with him, for he would talk to Jan in ways that others would not, offering him advice, wisdom, lore of the sea, and most of all sympathy, which the other fisherfolk thought was a sign of softness and would make him weak. "No sign of your father?" asked the old man. His fingers, thick and twisted with age, yet amazingly supple, resumed work on the net he was repairing. No. The word was bitter in Jan's mouth. He felt like a fool, still waiting, still hoping after all this time. "Sometimes it is best to let go," said Samos. He held up the net to display the gaping hole. "If Marquand had let go, instead of holding on to this net, he might be alive today. As it was, he saved the net, but lost his life. Not the best of trades, I think." "My father is coming back," said Jan, fighting to ignore the knot of anger in his stomach. 10 years is a long time to be gone," replied the old man. Then he turned his attention back to the net. Jan stood in silence, gazing out at the sea once more. For a moment he thought he saw something. He blinked and shook his head, and it was gone. No, there it was again. The sun was halfway up the sky, and its fierce rays filled the water with flashes of gold and silver. Whatever Jan saw was blending with those flashes, barely distinguishable. He shaded his eyes, squinting for a better view. A sail! He leapt to his feet, feeling a surge of hope and, at the same time, cursing himself for being fool enough to get excited by every sail that broke the horizon. It would be some time before he could see whether this one carried the family crest, a blue circle that held the image of a gull in flight, with a single star above it. Even if it didn't, the ship might carry his father. After all, the sea had its own ways of return.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?